My name is Marina, and until 3 weeks ago, I believed that houses were just brick and wooden structures, that walls had no memory, that I was wrong. Well, I found out in the worst possible way. The house was for me after Aunt Eulalia died, 92 years, and no one had visited her for decades. Family has these things, right? Secrets that we prefer to bury. The house was exactly as I imagined. Covered furniture, musty smell, windows blurred by time. But there was something else. A weight in the air, as if the house were watching. I started with the main room, old furniture but well-maintained, a fireplace that hasn't seen fire in decades, and portraits. Many family portraits on the wall, but all with their faces facing down or covered by a thin layer of dust, as if someone didn't want to be watched by them. It was in the attic that I found the first real clue, a shoebox full of photographs, all from the same woman at different times, dark hair, deep eyes that seemed to follow me. In the background of the photos, always the same signature, "Forever yours, Helena." Some photos showed Helena as a child, playing in the garden of the same house where I was. Others, teenagers, always smiling. But in the last photos, something had changed. The forced smile, the tired eyes, as if carrying an invisible weight. I asked the neighbors about Helena. The answer was always the same. "This family has stories that it's better not to touch, girl." But Doña Conceição, 78 years old, pulled me aside.
Helena was a special girl, you know, very smart. But after he started messing with that house, she changed. She kept talking to herself, saying that she heard voices on the walls. Her Aunt Eulalia was very worried in recent months.
"What last months?" I asked.
Before she disappears, of course.
I decided to ignore local superstitions. After all, I'm an architect. I deal with facts, not fantasies. But the facts started to get strange. First were the measures. The house had impossible architectural inconsistencies. Walls that should be 3 meters long had 2.5. Rooms that looked bigger on the outside than on the inside, as if there were hidden spaces. Then came the noises. Beats coming from inside the walls, always at the same rhythm. 3 long beats, 2 short ones, as if someone was trying to communicate. I tried to rationalize. Old pipes, wood settling in rodents, but the noises were always in the same pattern, always at the same time, 3 in the afternoon, every day. Then it was the objects. I left the tools in one place, found them in another. The hammer he swore he had put on the table appeared in the attic. Helena's photos that I kept in a drawer were scattered on the living room floor, always arranged in a perfect circle. I started to write everything down, schedules, locations, standards. If there was a logical explanation, I would find it. I installed a camera in the attic. On the first day, nothing. In the second, the camera had been turned to the wall. In the third, well, the images left me sleepless. But what disturbed me the most were the mirrors. Every time I passed by one, I had the feeling that someone else had passed seconds before, as if my reflex was late, or worse, as if there were 2 reflexes. One night, I woke up at 3 in the morning with thirst. I went to the kitchen and, when I passed through the mirror in the hallway, I swear I saw Helena watching me. When I turned around, nothing. When I looked back at the mirror, she was still there, smiling. I decided to investigate seriously. In the city archives, I discovered that Helena was not just anyone. She was Aunt Eulalia's daughter, who disappeared in 1987. Officially, he ran away from home. But the police reports told another story. Helena was 23 years old when she disappeared, the same age I am now. I studied architecture at the same university where I graduated, and the more I read about her, the more similarities I found. They weren't just physical similarities. Helena was also left-hand. She also had a shrimp allergy. She also dreamed of renovating old houses. It was as if we were the same person at different times. But there was something more disturbing. In the last months before the disappearance, Helena had sought medical help several times. She complained of insomnia, paranoia, voices that only she heard. The doctors suggested psychiatric hospitalization. Aunt Eulalia refused. He said it was just stress from the studies. But the medical notes mentioned something specific.
Helena stated that the house was calling for her, that she had a mission to fulfill.
That's when I found her diary, hidden in a false wall in the basement. The yellowish pages told a story that spilled my blood. February 10, 1987. I discovered something about our family. We're not the first. There are others before us. Other women who came to this house. The portraits that Mom hid in the attic. They all look like me. They all disappeared. February 20. The voices are clearer now. They tell me about the secret of the house, about the price our family pays to each generation. One of us should stay. One of us must keep what cannot be revealed. I went back to the attic and found what Helena had mentioned. Behind a pile of boxes, dozens of old portraits. Women from different times, all young, all with traits similar to ours. March 15, 1987. I understand everything now. The house is not haunted. She's hungry. And I know what I need to do. If Mom looks for me, say that I finally found my place in the family. I discovered that Aunt Eulalia was still alive, hospitalized in an asylum for 5 years. When I got there, she looked at me as if she were seeing a ghost.
Helena, you came back? I knew you would come back.
I'm Marina, Aunt, daughter of your niece Clara. I came to ask about Helena.
No, you can't go back to that house. The curse. Our family has been carrying a curse for generations.
She told me the truth. Our family didn't just own the house. We were your guardians. Each generation, a woman was chosen to keep an ancestral secret.
My great-grandfather built the house on land that shouldn't have been touched, a sacred place where ancient indigenous families buried their dead, but he didn't listen to the warnings.
The house was built on a sacred cemetery, and the spirits buried there made a pact with our family. A woman in each generation should stay to appease her anger, or the whole lineage would be cursed.
Helena discovered the truth. She thought she could break the curse, that she could save future generations by offering herself voluntarily, but I didn't let it.
What did you do, Aunt?
I locked her in the basement when she tried to perform the ritual. I thought she would give up, that she would find another solution. But when I came back the next day, she had disappeared. The wall had been rebuilt, as if it had never been there.
The house had claimed Helena, even against her will, and now, 40 years later, it was my turn. I returned home knowing that there was no way to escape the fate of my family. But unlike Helena, I wouldn't surrender without fighting. If Helena was there, I would free her. If there was a way to break the curse, I would find it. The beats got stronger, more desperate, as if Helena knew I was close. Behind the wall, I found a small compartment, and inside him,
Helena's skeleton, along with personal belongings and a ticket.
The ticket says, "For whoever comes after me, the curse is real, but it can be broken. Not for death, but for the conscious choice to leave." I tried to escape, but the house brought me back. You have a chance that I didn't have. You know the truth from the beginning. That's when I felt it. The house wasn't just calling for me. She was angry. Anger because I had discovered Helena, because I knew too much. I'm not going to stay. You can't force me. But then I understood what Helena had written. The conscious choice to leave. It wasn't about running away from the house. It was about destroying it. I set the house on fire, all the secrets, all the generations of women, imprisoned by an ancestral curse. Everything turned to ashes. The firefighters said it was an electric accident. The neighborhood regretted the loss of a historical heritage. But I knew the truth. Some houses need to be destroyed so that imprisoned souls can finally rest. Aunt Eulalia died 3 days after the fire. They say it was in peace, smiling. Maybe she knew that the curse had finally been broken. Some say that houses are just brick and wooden structures, but I learned that sometimes the walls really have memory, and that some echoes of the past only stop resonating when they finally find peace.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to help us tell our stories to more people. If you liked it, leave your like and see you next time.